Illumination is a studio that frustrates me to no end, because they have so much potential to make great animated movies, yet they never choose to go further with that potential. After having a strong start with the first Despicable Me in 2010, they just decided to never make another movie as good as it ever again. The thing is, it's not like their movies are awful or anything like that. They are just really bland and uninteresting. Secret Life of Pets, for example, isn't necessarily a bad movie, but it's very safe, and it doesn't do anything remotely interesting. It doesn't take any risks. It's watchable, but it's not memorable. Of course, it's important to remember what caused Illumination's very fast downfall. It all started with Despicable Me, the studio's first, and for a very long time, only, good movie. Specifically, the Minions. Now, they weren't a problem in the first Despicable Me. They were treated as comic relief, and not the main focus of the movie, like it should have been. Once Despicable Me 2 rolled around though, the Minions started getting more and more attention, to the point where they replaced Gru as the main focus of the franchise. Don't even get me started on how things turned out once their own solo movie came out in 2015. To make a long story short, the studio that put out the first Despicable Me was a completely different studio from the one that put out every subsequent movie. Then, sometime in either 2018 or 2019, it was announced that Illumination would be making a Mario movie, and the internet did not know how to feel about this news. This was further escalated on September 23, 2021, during a Nintendo Direct. In the Direct, the voice actors for the movie would be announced, which included Mario being voiced by Chris Pratt, Bowser being voiced by Jack Black, and Donkey Kong being voiced by Seth Rogen. Naturally, this announcement further polarized the internet, and made people even more curious about how the movie would turn out than ever before. And then, on October 4, 2022, over a year after the voice actor announcement, the first proper poster for the movie was released. It was also announced that a Nintendo Direct showing off the first trailer for the movie would be shown off as well. The poster did give off hope that the movie would be genuinely good, but it wouldn't be until the first trailer was released, where most people's views on the movie would do a complete 180. Before all of this, people thought that the movie would be one of two things. Number 1, the movie would be the same typical Illumination drivel, except with Mario slapped in front of it. Number 2, the movie would not be good, but it would have this ironic novelty charm to it. The announcements of the voice actors only added to this. So, with all of that in mind, imagine our shock when the first trailer was released, and it actually somehow turned out great. The trailer had absolutely gorgeous looking animation, especially for Illumination standards, and it also gave us a brief first look at Chris Pratt and Jack Black as Mario and Bowser respectively, although Chris Pratt was criticized for essentially just using his regular voice, and not doing a Mario impression or anything like that. A lot of people praised Jack Black as Bowser. You know, during the initial announcement, I thought that Jack Black as Bowser weirdly worked for some reason. I don't know why, it just did. Thankfully, this trailer basically confirmed that this was a great casting decision. 1 month later, on November 29th, we would get a direct showing the second trailer for the movie, which further showed that the movie was actually going to be genuinely great. In addition to showing off more of Chris Pratt and Jack Black, the second trailer also gave us a first look at Charlie Day as Luigi, Anna Taylor-Joy as Princess Peach, and Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong. Aside from Chris Pratt, who was still criticized for his voice, the second trailer received even more positive reception than the first trailer, especially because of how faithful the movie looked to the games. It's clear that regardless of how the movie will turn out, even if it somehow ends up being bad, at least it won't be like your average Illumination movie. I never thought I would ever be excited for an Illumination movie, but here we are. This has the potential to be Illumination's Spider-Verse, a movie that completely redeems Illumination. The craziest thing is, this isn't the only thing that makes me hopeful for Illumination's future. Minions: The Rise of Gru was not a movie that I ever intended to watch. I initially dismissed it as just being the same generic Illumination garbage. And then, when the whole gentle Minions trend started, I changed my mind, and I started thinking that the movie would only be good ironically. And then, one night, my family went to see it, and I decided to go as well, as I had literally nothing better to do. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I actually had a pretty good time watching The Rise of Gru. Not only is it significantly better than the first Minions, but it's also the best Illumination movie since the first Despicable Me, and currently, it is the only other movie from them that I would consider good. Don't get me wrong, the movie isn't anything special, but I had a good time watching it. I laughed a few times watching the movie. It's nothing amazing, but it was fun for what it was, and if I were to be completely honest, I enjoyed The Rise of Gru more than the 2 Pixar movies that came out this year. Yes, I went there. Again, this isn't saying much, since I don't think The Rise of Gru is anything more than decent, but hey, at least I can remember what happens in it. Can someone please remind me what happens in Lightyear again? I genuinely can't remember. The lesbian kiss scene that boomers got their panties in a twist about was literally the only memorable thing about that movie, and even then, it was most likely only memorable because of the boomers getting their panties in a twist over it. I wish to save this topic for another time, but man, 2022 was not a good year for Pixar. As for Disney themselves, Strange World was a little bit better than Rise of Gru, but I'm pretty sure that's only because I like the unique visuals it has. The movie itself isn't anything special. I admittedly feel bad about it not doing well at the box office, but at the same time, it genuinely felt like Disney was asking for it. The lack of marketing for the movie, the fact that the movie was sandwiched in between 2 major blockbusters that it definitely wouldn't stand a chance against, even if it was properly marketed. The overall movie itself just being typical Disney stuff, with nothing new or original to add to the table. It's no surprise that the movie did badly at the box office. I don't think that these movies are bad or anything like that, but it genuinely feels like Disney and Pixar are running out of steam. In fact, I'm going to make a very bold prediction. The Mario movie will be better than both Elemental and Wish. Looking at the initial trailer for Elemental, I don't think it will be a bad movie. Far from it, but I'll be amazed if it actually manages to live up to its unique concept. There's a chance that the movie will end up being like Strange World, where it has a cool concept, but the actual movie itself is just generic. Wish will probably end up being an average Disney movie as well, with nothing interesting about it. The Mario movie could end up being generic, but from what we've seen in the 2 trailers, it doesn't look like it. Neither of the trailers have the traditional Illumination tropes. There's no toilet humor, there's no randomly placed pop song from the last few years. There's nothing like that. It actually feels like a movie that has passion put into it, which has not been seen in an Illumination movie since the first Despicable Me. It doesn't have that obnoxiously safe and inoffensive vibe that other Illumination movies have. If anything, between looking at how good the Mario movie looks, and how the last few Disney and Pixar movies have turned out, there's only one question that's in my head. Why do we criticize Illumination for making safe and bland movies that take no risks whatsoever, yet we're perfectly fine when Disney and Pixar do it? What makes Raya and the Last Dragon or Lightyear any different from The Secret Life of Pets or Sing? How are the latter 2 considered bland and generic, but not the former 2? I'm just gonna go and say it. Disney and Pixar don't have that magic in them anymore. For the last few years, they've just been getting beaten by the competition. 2018, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse was better than both Incredibles 2 and Ralph Breaks the Internet. 2019, How to Train Your Dragon 3 was better than both Toy Story 4 and Frozen 2. 2020, well, okay, they both won in 2020, because Soul is a fantastic movie, the only fantastic movie either one of them have released in the last couple of years. And even though it's not as good, Onward is basically second place. At the same time, this is most likely only because of how 2020 turned out. 2021, Mitchells vs. the Machines is better than Raya and the Last Dragon, Encanto, and Luca. I'm sorry, but I really don't see what's so special about Encanto. It's fine, but nothing more. Maybe if I watched it prior to it being overhyped, I would probably enjoy it more, but as it stands, I don't see what the big deal is. The whole internet really went and hyped up this 5 out of 10 movie. Anyways, indeed, 2022 somewhat continued the tradition. Rise of Gru was better than the 2 Pixar movies that came out this year, but Strange World was slightly better, mostly because of the visuals and nothing more. I've yet to watch Bad Guys, but I'm willing to bet it'll be better than any of these movies. It feels like other animated studios are actually experimenting a bit with their movies, while Disney and Pixar keep giving us complete mediocrity. I'm sure Elemental and Wish will both be good movies, but it would honestly be both really funny and really satisfying if the Mario movie ends up being better than both. Actually, hold it, I just remembered that Across the Spider-Verse is coming out in 2023 as well. Yeah, it's official. Elemental and Wish don't stand a chance. What was supposed to be Disney's 100-year anniversary is going to be largely overshadowed by Mario and Spider-Man. We truly live in the weirdest timeline, but I ain't complaining. Of course, something that is very important to remember is that even if the Mario movie turns out good, that doesn't automatically mean that Illumination will become good as well. For all we know, these 2 movies will end up being flukes. Once the Mario movie comes out, we're probably going back to the same generic Illumination trash that we're used to. Secret Life of Pets free anyone? At the same time, even if this does happen, at least we would finally have more than one good Illumination movie, and it would lead us one step closer to Illumination becoming a respected animation company. It might seem really weird for me to want an Illumination movie to not only be really good, but also be significantly better than the Disney movies that will come out the same year, but I honestly feel like it will happen, and it should happen. Disney has reigned supreme over animated movies for far too long. It's about time the mouse finally gets beaten out by the competition. Having other animated studios actually make interesting animated movies, while the mouse still continues to pump out 5 out of 10 decent at best movies that you instantly forget about as soon as you finish watching them. Anyways, that's about it. I just wanted to make this quick little video explaining my thoughts on the Mario movie, and why it makes me hopeful that Illumination will finally have a redemption arc. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out my other videos, and if you like my other videos, then maybe consider subscribing. It would be greatly appreciated. I also have a Letterboxd account, which you could check out, if you want to see what movies I've watched, and the ratings and occasional reviews that I give them. A link will be in the description below. Thank you everyone for watching this video, and I will see you all next time. Goodbye.